Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on your way in. Gender war Laura already said, no way she said that dumb ish. Man, man. Look, she did. Yes, she did. What's up, Toya? What's up? Yes, she did. So we will be talking about our favorite colorist queen, right? Shout out to Rashida Strober. But yeah, no, we're gonna be talking about the colorist queen, the one that put that made a whole lot of money talking about colorism, and the more and more we listen to her, is she just resent black men for not choosing her, and she blame it on her dark skin. Meanwhile, once again, we team Kelly Rowland over here, right? We team Naomi Campbell over here. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, we're her features. Okay, all right. This is where featureism and texturism come in. Yeah, they dark skinned, but look at their noses. It's not wide. Okay. All right, right. Bitter Betties keep as the more they talk, the more they tell you they just resentful, angry people, and they never actually happy, unless they getting messy. Which, by the way, we're gonna touch on in a minute. All right, all right, so Miss Chrissie. All right, so she covers the Michael B. Jordan. I didn't know the young lady's name. I think it was L'Oreal or something like that. So Miss Chrissy covers the story of Michael B. Jordan and the whole, hoopla about him being called corny. And of course, you gotta know she made it a colorist thing. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Oh. Now, she didn't say that dark skinned women and brown skinned women don't reject black men. What she said is what really pisses black men off is the fact that the L'Oreals of the world reject them. That's what they really remember. Oh boy. Right? Oh boy. So we're here now. Look, this lady is a special, she's a special kind. We're dealing with a special kind of like resentful, angry, bitter person, right? Whew. Yeah, this is frightening, right? So from what I gather, Chrissy really either got overlooked by a nerdy guy, a corny guy, right? A non-select. I said this before. I think I need to say this again. You know, after a lot of women, I'm throwing this out here. This is somewhat anecdotal, but after a woman gives who they deem corny, lame, and non-select a chance, so after they throw their temper tantrum and they're celibate for a little while, because they were dealing with the type of men they wanted to deal with and it didn't work out. So after all of that happens and they give the guy that they think is beneath them a chance, whether it's because he has no swag to them or whether because they deem him as corny or they deem him as non-select, if that doesn't work out, they go scorch earth. Exhibit A, Chrissy, right? So Chrissy does say, I've dated around and these guys, sometimes they're just a-holes, right? Or is that your breath stinks? Or it's any number of things. And they're doing the whole, well, other women get to play around and not take, serious men seriously in their youth. Why can't we do it? Now she does admit that other non-black women are quieter about their maybe sexual exploits. And that is something that maybe black women can learn from, right? You see what I'm saying, Gender Warlord? Let me see if I can highlight this while I'm driving. And Gender Warlord said, you weren't even my type. Hey, it's not. You want to know what chaps a woman's rear end? You want to know what you want to know what grinds their and train tracks. You want to know what really grinds their gears? Oh, if they get played by the guy they didn't even want in the beginning, or it just doesn't work out. They don't even need to be played by him. It just doesn't. If it doesn't work out, or if they get heartbroken, or if their expectations weren't met by the guy they felt like they were settling for in the first place. Oh, you want to talk about angry? Jesus, right? So let me go through a couple of points. If I can bring up, there we go, the notes. So Chrissy had a real issue um, with a number of women online saying, I like corny guys, right? Or I did overlook corny guys and I regret it. Or so black women, being somewhat honest and being like, well, send the corny guys here. What's wrong with good guys and corny guys? I want me a corny guy. I want me a good guy. Send me the Michael B. Jordan. Send me the Russell Wilsons, right? And she really, I gotta stress this part. It's something I mentioned about Kim Foster once. These women are willing to watch other women suffer for their jihad against black men. And Chrissy truly, truly revealed it with this video, right? She truly revealed it with this video. She made comments like, give who y'all need to give a chance to? The corny non-black men. Yeah, she really revealed it in this video. It's F black men forever. And she said why. So whatever happened, however, whatever, salty thing she's going through, she feels like the black manosphere did her wrong, right? So I guess her stint with Sarge Willie Pete left a sour or bad taste in her mouth, and she's pissed. And she essentially said F them forever. Because she said, the whole video was about black corny guys holding grudges. And then towards the end, she pretty much said, well, I guess I hold grudges too, because, pretty much F the manosphere, right? So you spent at least a good third of your stream pretty much chastising black women for, saying that, they apologize in some way for how they treated corny men back in high school or in college or something, or overlooking these guys. You insult corny men. You spent a good third of your stream saying these men are losers and they're a-holes and they're holding grudges, and essentially, and then you pretty much admit that you do too, for how you felt the black manosphere treated you. Or she said the manosphere, let's be clear. She ain't saying specifically the black manosphere, but the black manosphere. How they treated you some 8 years ago? Wow. When y'all think Mr. Z is joking when I say these people have arrested development of their emotions. When I tell you these people are adults, they're grown adults that pay their bills and pay their taxes and know how to wipe their rear ends, but emotionally they're 12-year-olds throwing a temper tantrum. I'm not joking when I say that. I might say it in jest a little bit. I might say it a little lighthearted, but in all honesty, these people really are adults throwing temper tantrums. And Trell says, therapy. Trell said, I'm gonna help pay for your therapist. You're gonna need it. And Trell, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Trell said they're not even 12 years old. These people are more like 7-year-olds. Trell got kids, he would know. Right? You might be right, Trell. I'll take your word for it. I'm not a parent yet. And maybe, you know what? Maybe there is something to be said, and this is not even in my notes. I kind of want to go on, make a side note with this. There is something to be said about all these people saying they don't want to have children. There's something to be said about, what I deem as arrested development of emotions, right? And these people saying they don't want to have children, right? And excuse my background. I am on the road right now. If y'all, get places where y'all can't hear me that well, my apologies. I'm going to try to repeat myself at least once or twice with some of my points, right? But yeah, so it is kind of frightening listening to these people talk. Um, Once again, Chrissy somewhere in her late 30s, maybe 40 or 41, but somewhere she's pretty much somewhere around the same age as Sarge Willie P. Right? So listening to this adult woman speak who has made some real money off of YouTube and oh, side note, wait, pause. How did I should have started the stream with this. What is Mr. Z doing? I'm trying to remind myself to start the stream like this. Hey, somebody's channel might be gone, y'all. Somebody's channel might be gone, y'all. Do y'all remember Mr. Z saying I'm going to torpedo my channel and kamikaze my channel to get rid of somebody's channel? Maybe I won't have to do it because somebody's channel is already gone. Have anybody tried to type in Paris Milan's name in YouTube? Right? Has anyone tried typing in Paris Milan's name into YouTube? Tell me what come up. You know what comes up? Not her channel. Yeah. So, it could be anything. It could be a copyright dispute, anything. So we ain't counting nothing yet, right? We could be saying that and then her channel pop up like a mummy. So we never know. Her channel could be right back up in a week, in a few days. We don't know. But as of right now, yeah, no Paris Milan right now, everyone. So that's interesting, right? 300,000+ subscribers, bragging about it all the time, bragging about how you got married, you don't got no kids, you ain't like these other people. Hey, talking real reckless, calling black men nakers, right? Playing with some of that neo-Nazi type language some of those divestors and swirlers play with, right? Doing all of that, saying some detestable, I don't even know what word to use, some of the worst, most egregious language against black men, and then hiding that behind a paywall on Patreon. What you thought? Chrissy, you next. Cynthia G, you next. And by the way, Chrissy know how to slip a punch. It might take a little bit longer to take Chrissy down. And no, Mr. Z didn't have anything to do with taking Paris down. I told y'all I don't be going after people like that. Right? Like I said, I'm not about doxing people. And you don't know. She could have took her channel down because her husband probably said something like, you know what, you done made enough money. I got us. We good. Don't worry about that. I'm a African king, Princess Amunda. You good, right? We don't know why what happened to her channel. It could be anything, but it could be somebody flagged it. It could be that, right? It could be copyright. It could be anything. It could be people figuring out that she'd be saying some crazy stuff and then put it on Patreon. There could be a campaign against that right now. We don't know. But yeah, Miss Milan's channel is out of here, everyone. Right? So that's a plus on our side. One less person with a huge channel to talk reckless about black men, right? Particularly a black woman on top of that. ADOS black woman, from my understanding. Right? So let's see. But but Cynthia G, you next, player. Put money on it. Chrissy, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit more difficult. She really know how to slip. Chrissy know how to slip a punch. Ooh, this girl know how to do damage control and slip a punch. You would have thought she was taught by Muhammad Ali. Right? Oh, somebody, yes, Divestazella. Yeah, Divestazella been off for a little while. And I think even maybe hashtag black woman. I'm not sure, But yeah, divested zealot. Yeah, her channel been off for yeah. Wait, one of them is it divested zealot? One of them, the channel I typed in the channel, it was gone also. So let's get back to Chrissy. Let me make these points real quick. So yeah, so Chrissy says stop coddling corny black men. Her words. Stop coddling corny black men. So Chrissy really has an issue. She does the whole they're guilty until proven innocent. She literally said that about black men. So black men are automatic colorists and featurists and texturists until proven innocent. Chrissy literally said treat them like they're guilty until proven innocent. Her words verbatim. Not something I inferred. See, I inferred that from Paris. No, Chrissy said it. Well, Chrissy, it doesn't look like that type of language worked out too well for Paris Milan, now does it? Right? Doesn't look like it's working. Y'all gotta. All right. You know, I, Mr. Z has this channel. I critique black women. I do sometimes poke fun, but I don't hate black women. Promise y'all to God, I'm not holding no resentment about something from high school or college or some pretty light skinned chick that overlooked me, right? Or some pretty dark skinned chick that overlooked me 5 years ago. And I said, you know what? No, right? And that's the difference. Y'all can even hear it in Mr. Z's tone. These people really resent and hate black men. They mad at some Negro that broke their heart or overlooked them or reject them, or they're mad that they're not treated like upper middle class and rich white women. And we're going to address something that Chrissy said, right, to speak to that. You could tell by the way Chrissy speaks, right? Cynthia G is super broken, right? You can listen to these people speak. They're broken. Right? So let's get into it. Let me address something real quick. Okay, there it goes. So something Chrissy said, and paraphrasing a bit, non-black non-black corny men and high earning men are arrogant only towards other men, right? They have a professional arrogance about them. Y'all, she twisted herself into pretzels. Meanwhile, you go talk to these men's ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, right? If they do have a baby mama, their current wives. Screw their ex-wives. Their current wives. You know what, Chrissy, you getting sloppy. You getting sloppy because this is not the Chrissy I know. Chrissy I know wouldn't say something so whimsical. So black men are arrogant and confrontational. Successful black men, money black men are arrogant towards black women, but non-black men don't do that to women. There's a professional arrogance about them. I'm sorry, y'all. It's it. These are adults, people. These are like adults. It's scary. Like when you really think about it, these are adults. They just pulling crap out their. I gotta say, pulling crap out their ass. Like who? What? Where do y'all even come up with these things from? Could y'all just say y'all angry because the nigga y'all wanted didn't want y'all? You know what, Mr. Z using profanity today because this is just wow, wow. And the reason why this matters is because we're dealing with a person with 220,000 subscribers. That's why it matters, right? And it's not, no, it's better you said Paulin done nearly killed him out there. No, it's the BS. I'm choking on the BS, not Paulin. My windows are up. My AC was on. I turned it off just now, but yeah, no, it ain't Paulin, right? That's that's frightening. Ooh, that's frightening. When you think these are adults, literally 1/3 of her stream was making fun of, corny black men still holding grudges, and literally later on in her stream, she admits to holding grudges because of how she felt she was treated by, let's call a thing, black men in the black manosphere some 8+ years ago, right? The reason why this thing is dangerous, I it's hard for me to say. I tell people you get what you get when you have, when you think a certain way, when you act a certain way. Yes, Mr. Z is about that. But to tell black men, hey, you see, for black men to be defending black women, or for black men to say, you know what, she got a point right there. Yeah, there's some of the nerdy girls back in school, we kind of overlooked them. And for I couldn't imagine me telling y'all, no, what y'all doing? No, just sit on your hands, get quiet. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine trying to wage a jihad against black women using black men. Mr. Z got some problems. Yeah, we all got our problems, but I don't got those type of problems. Like, to use black men, young black impressionable men who might be listening in, and use them as a jihad against black women my same age, but these young men will be interacting with black girls and black women their age who are younger. That's like, you can't say these people need therapy, because we done seen some of these therapists on the same thing, like telling them to seek help. What can you do with these people? And then, you know Chrissie got the nerve to say, well, some of these men, they're insufferable. Some of these corny guys, they're a-holes. They're mean. They're insufferable. Chrissie, you, out of all people, want to use the word insufferable? Are you sure? Are you ever look at somebody and you like, not you? I know, not you. You ever look at somebody and be like, not you? That turns everything into a colorism conversation because you mad about where you rank. And then when black men start showing you all the dark-skinned black women they find attractive, then that's when y'all start talking about featureism and texturism. I'm a bald black guy. You think Mr. Z hasn't been turned down because he's bald? I don't even know what word what a follicologist, like I got a follicle problem. Follicism. That now I'm gonna start a movement about bald dudes and women overlooking us because we don't got no hair on our head. Weirdo. Thank you, Trell. Teen angst they never got over. Now they a whole big 37, 35, 40 years old, and they still on the same BS. Let's go to BGS. And BGS said, why I think my thing moving slow. Wait a minute, y'all. Because I clicked on BS comment and it still hasn't shown up yet on my. Give me a second. Let me see something. Let's try it now. I'm trying to click on this comment, BGS. It ain't showing. But anyway, BGS says, what video are we referencing? So Chrissy did a video last night, Mr. Z being the sadomasochist that I am. I listened in, um, and she's still on it. She's still the same Chrissy that you jousted with years ago. And we're back. Okay, let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know what happened. Oh, well, at least we can. Okay, cool. We can at least see BGS's comment now. And BGS says, what video are we referencing? So I don't know how, when the stream disconnected. So okay, cool. Now oh wow, a bunch of comments just populated. Okay. We are referencing a video that Chrissy did recently speaking about the Michael B. Jordan situation. Um Speaking about, and all her anger. So Chrissy is another one of these people that's using um her issue with black men and how maybe she was overlooked, or in this case, maybe the corny guys that she air quotes settled for eventually didn't it didn't pan out the way she wanted it to, or whatever. However the situation worked out, once again we have another one of these people that want to use other black women as their, tools for their jihad against black men. So BGS, she's the same person that you jousted with. I really want to say woman, but the way Chrissy speaks, this is little girl behavior. She's the same person that you jousted with years ago. Ain't no maturity. There's nothing that changed, right? She's still angry, resentful, probably dark skinned black woman who was overlooked by the dude she wanted in high school type thing, right? Right. It's just yeah, you know. She made comments like, black men. What is it again? Non-black higher earning men have a certain professional arrogance about them that black men don't have. They reserve their arrogance for other men, right? Where black men are these a-holes to women, and I'm like, what? When elite women divorce these elite white men, that's like one of the first things they talk about, him being an a-hole, because they not leaving because of the money. The money's there. What are you talking about, lady? What are you talking about? You're trying to do that. And literally, if y'all listen to that stream, she's literally mad that black women are apologizing for some of the ways they might have treated and overlooked the corny guys in high school. This lady's these when I, Trell's right. I want to say 12. Trell's right. These are 7-year-olds. Emotional 7-year-olds. Okay, exactly, BGS. So that's what I think happened. She dated D boys, and she admitted that, right? Chrissy admitted this. She's doing that elitist crap now. She dated D boys and street dudes when she was younger. She probably realized, oh yeah, this ain't working for me. She gave the corny dude a chance. It didn't work out. Now I'm extrapolating a whole lot. All this part I'm putting on there, right? From my understanding, I've never heard Chrissy say this part. I'm saying this. She probably dated the guy she deemed as corny afterward, and it didn't work out. So now it's scorched earth on black men from then on. And I've said this before. These women will do whatever they want to do, whatever with their bodies, live free and fast, all through their 20s, maybe even early 30s, throw a temper tantrum and sit on their vagina and do the whole celibate thing for a couple years, And when they come back out on the market, the next man it doesn't work out with, if it doesn't work out, they're scorched earth forever. It's F men forever, but because we're black, it's F black men, right? And this lady literally had the unmitigated gall to use the word, what'd she say? Insufferable. Chrissie, out of all people, y'all know when y'all at a family gathering and you're with some friends or some associates and somebody say something and you like, oh, not you. I know you not talking. You see me? Spain Man says these women act like they still play with Ken dolls because that's what you're supposed to be as a man, particularly a black man, right? You see what I'm saying, Better You? And Better You, thank you for the super chat. Better You said, what was that bit about emotional intelligence and maturity? They spew venom, but you supposed to protect me while I punch you in the face. I know BGS got a whole lot to say about that because that's exactly what they're saying. You deserve the verbal abuse, you deserve the physical abuse, the emotional and mental abuse, because that's your job. And you're still supposed to protect me and provide at the highest level, by the way. And BGS says she tried to get high value men in her 30s and they rejected her. So now she thinks she's gonna get a white one. Yeah, maybe in his 50s or 60s. Ugh. Right? You know, she literally tells other women to sit this one out. Let black men fight this battle. She finds a weird way of saying the reason why Michael B. Jordan remembers this young lady calling him corny is because she's light skinned and she's not even black. She's Puerto Rican and whatever mixed. And her own subscribers had to check her and say, actually, she got a dark skinned mama. She got a dark skinned black mom. Well, anyway, that's not the point. See, y'all over here still trying to cape. Bruh, your subscribers that are ride or die with you, they check you just a little bit, and you still find a way of saying that's not the point. Translation of what Chrissie is saying. The point over here is to defecate on the men. I don't need y'all trying to correct me when I'm trying to defecate on the men and use this um light skin, excuse me, light skinned black woman, mixed black woman as a point to say they don't. Yeah, we reject them, but they don't really care about our rejection of them as dark skinned black women. What they really care about is these light skinned, racially ambiguous black women when they reject them, and when these women reject these men in high school and college and middle school, etc. Now, pause right here. Do we not have more black people in the black community that don't pass the brown paper bag test? Don't we have more black people that don't pass the brown paper bag test? Now, wouldn't that mean that when the majority of black men are rejected or turned down or called corny, it's by black women and black girls who mainly don't pass the brown paper bag test? But yet those same black men mainly and only remember the black women who are lighter than a brown paper bag who reject them. Chrissie, the math don't math, Chrissie. The math don't math, Chrissie. And once again, she was speaking about this young lady like she not black. Come to find out she got a black mama, a dark skinned black mama. Yep, yep, right. And y'all give me a second. Let me get this breakfast real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me a second. And we're back for a second. Y'all know when they tell y'all not to go all the way up to the window because they trying to buy time, right? All about people that be going through the drive-through, right? And Big Kev says, and thank you for the super chat, Big Kev. And Big Kev says, like I said, Insecure indirectly exposed how most of Black BreadTube is lying about straight Black men, rampant misogynoir, colorism, and homophobia. Yeah, and I think, on a side note, I think these people really underappreciate how much they were given the microphone because white women were given the microphone, and how much the internet has democratized the town square. And so that now that Black men are speaking, and now that Black women are still talking on the internet, they're exposing themselves and what their real gripes and issues are, right? And as savvy as Chrissy is, and I don't want y'all to take this away from her, the lady is savvy. I'm watching her slip putt. I'm watching her do damage control, right? I'm watching her try to do damage control. But even with that, I would argue she still doesn't appreciate the what's really going on behind the scenes, and the fact that what you're what you're pitching not only is not going to work, it's going to flip on you, right? You know, I think she really woefully underestimates what's going on right now, or doesn't appreciate. It's probably the better word to use. Well, prime example. And Show Me says they're talking about the ambiguous babies they are trying to have. And you know what's interesting about that? If the subscribers, Chrissy subscribers, are correct, L'Oreal, that's the young lady that supposedly called him corny when he was in school. The young light skinned woman, her mother is a dark skinned Black woman. So you're right. You're right. Right. So excuse me, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're back. We're back. But yeah, so this is the Chrissy that this is the colorist queen right here, right? This is the colorist queen. You know, she speak well, she enunciates her words, you know. From her subscribers, they say she has a smooth and soothing voice. I hear adult content phone voice. That's what I hear. But okay, cool. And so I can see, right? She puts on this fake air of kind of that Bugetto stuff that some Black people, namely Black women, like. But okay, cool. Um, and so that that her subscribers gravitate to that. They don't like the way Rashida Strober speaks about colorism and texturism and featureism and all of these other things. So they gravitate to Chrissy and her brand of this type of conversation, right? And her brand of pettiness. They gravitate, and that's okay, cool, all right. Issue Black women have that Black men don't have, like colorism. Oh wait, Godfrey had a bunch to say about that. Yikes. Dark skinned brother. Hmm. Yeah, because colorism is a Black woman's issue, right? Okay, yeah. Exclusively a Black woman's issue. Or when it happens to dark skinned Black men and Black boys, right? They get to get over it because later on in their life, dark skin is seen as masculine, and then they just get over it. Yeah, that's it. Hmm. And so when Chrissy was saying to her subscribers to sit this one out, she literally came out her mouth. I mean this. Literally came out her mouth and said, "Well, 9 out of 10 of the women that reject him and they remember don't look nothing like you." In other words, the women that turn down black men, these corny black men, these corny black boys, look nothing like the women that are caping for them and saying, "I want me a corny black man. I want me a corny man." When I say she was twisting herself into a pretzel, because really it's look, f them forever. And I would argue, train tracks. Most of her subscribers are probably younger than her, so they may not really get like we've said this before, right? These people, yes, they're knowingly walking to the edge of the cliff, but they don't really know what's animating and fueling the person and helping them to walk to the edge of the cliff. And it means nothing to black men, Mr. Z, black woman social worker. I'm trying to let y'all know what it is. These people are using your lives, your sentiments as a jihad against black men. And Chrissy gonna pick your pocket right before you fall off the edge of that cliff. Yoink! Snatch your pocketbook, your wallet, take the money out, and just watch you fall into antidepressant pills and self-delete thoughts. Thoughts of self-deletion, right? This lady literally said 9 out of 10 of the women that are rejecting these type of corny men don't look anything like the women that are on video, typing up comments saying, I'll take me a corny man." So even for the handful of black women and girls that look at least barely look like they got their mind right, Miss Chrissy has a problem with that, because for her it's F black men forever. Even when they're right, even when they're on the right side of history. So when I say these people are willing to watch black women suffer for their jihad against black men, I mean it. I'm not being hyperbolic. I am not being hyperbolic when I say they're willing to watch y'all suffer for their jihad against black boys and black men. It sounds exaggerated until you hear them listen to them speak long enough. They'll let you know. She literally said, "Sit this one out." Those were her words. She meant what she said. She meant what she said. Right? Miss Miss Christie also says black men are non-committal. That's another thing. Black men, even in their 20s, they're not marriage minded. She didn't say marriage minded. She said non-committal. Wait a minute. So rich white dudes in their mid 20s are committal? First of all, how many of them are rich? But okay, well-off white dudes are committal. They're committing, right, to marriage. What's the average first age of marriage for men in America? Some 29 years old, right? First marriages in America, right? 29. Hmm. What are you talking about, Chrissy? Why are you still talking? Who let who let drunk single auntie get the microphone? And I'm not saying she was drunk. I'm just saying, like, this is what these people. Crystalline Kerosene is showing you this, right? Yanni, I mean, all these people are just like the level of rage they have towards black men. So anybody that ever thought that they were just critical of black men and it was a little heavy-handed, their critique of black men was just a little harsh, but you kind of understand where they coming from, right? They're telling you more and more the more you let them talk and the older they get, oops, the more they're letting you know, no, F them. F those black men. I don't care what they do, right? And Trell Billy says drunk auntie at the wedding reception. I was thinking more like drunk auntie at the repast for Uncle Ricky's funeral, right? Just doing too much. Damn near twerking on the casket. Y'all saw the video of the lady twerking on damn near trying to twerk on the casket. Twerking next to the casket. She wasn't standing on it, but Jesus Christ. That's why I tell let them talk. Paris didn't used to say Naker, she started saying Naker. You let Yanny talk, she tell you she's celibate and it's killing her. You let Kim Foster talk long enough, she said, let's bring back we don't need these Negroes feminism. You let Chrissie talk long enough, she told y'all to sit this one out. Stop excuse me. Stop coddling corny men. Coddling corny men? What? What are you lady, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Right? All of this coming out of an adult woman's mouth. An adult. Just a 7-year-old throwing temper tantrums, that's all. Mad what they couldn't get, who didn't want them, who didn't find them attractive. And are using other black women, young, impressionable black women and girls, as a weapon against young boys and men. Men and boys. Because you gotta know there's some high schoolers that's listening to Chrissy. You gotta know. Right? You see me, D Scott? Let it go on TC. We can see the sweat in that waist trainer. Right? Trail sit to the window, to the wall. Right? No, D Scott, she said she ain't letting it go. She says she's gonna hold on to that grudge. So I don't know um what transpired between her and Sarge Willie Pete. I don't know what I was here, I was listening in, but I don't know what transpired between her and Sarge Willie Pete. I I don't know what happened between her and maybe some of the earliest forms of the Black Manosphere, but she said she's holding on to that grudge. Right? And Demetrius says, I have a theory that these young ladies have been through what they regard as such a traumatic experience that it stunts them mentally. Mm, yes and no. There's a lot there's some gynocratic thinking, right? But some of what you're saying also. Definitely some of what you're saying also. But then that's something that you need to go speak to family about. You need to really seek some real help, right? I'm reluctant to say therapy Because once again, we some of these therapists is on the same thing. Mess around and find the wrong black woman therapist, and she gonna tell you, "Oh, girl, there ain't nothing wrong with you. I hate these Negroes too." Thank you, Indigo. And Indigo says, Demetria, don't get it twisted. Some of this is vicarious trauma. Exactly. Right? Y'all ain't elevate Lizzo the way I thought y'all should have. Oh God. Right? Indigo, why you BSing for real? I'm not joking. I'm like seriously, yes. And Indigo says they watched The Color Purple and Tyler Perry and got traumatized. Right? And let's be honest, how often, especially for some of us that spent any time in college, you let young black women talk long enough, and they're it's almost like they're reciting Four Color Girls, right? Or The Color Purple, or Waiting to Excel. They're literally reciting these type of things. And all it takes is one situation with a young black man that doesn't work out in their favor, and they're gone. Well, Gender Warlord says also, I would believe that, um, but I've seen too many of them on Twitter saying they started feeling the way they feel because of divested channels and femicide channels. Yeah, yeah, right. And that's why I'm careful about what I say because I know somewhere is a 17-year-old black kid listening to me. And I want him to be careful, but I don't want him to hate black women, right? I want him to be careful, but I don't want him, whatever resentment some of us in our 30s and 40s and 50s may have as black men for whatever experiences we went through. I don't need a 16-year-old to be feeling that, a 15-year-old to be feeling that, even a 21, 22-year-old to be feeling that. And these other women talk so, these, almost lost my religion. These black women talk so reckless. Not only because they don't care, I take it a step further than they don't care. They actually want those young women to have that level of resentment. They want those young women to have that level of resentment at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old towards black men and boys. And that's not a far leap. That's not a far leap I'm making. If you tell black women to stand down, if you tell them to sit this one out, how far of a leap am I making for me to say, you know what, you want them, in other words, you want them to be resent, you want to see black men take a L, no matter what it costs, even if it costs other black women missing out on an opportunity to be dating and for us to have a story. Hey, yeah, you know, Michael B. Jordan been with his girlfriend since high school, right? And Allsped says, divest the text. Thank you, brother. I see the turbo in the background. I see the turbo in the background, right? And so I will continue to say that these people are doing this for their money. So let me get this right. Chrissie was the same one chastising her subscribers for not divesting, talking about it and not being about it just a few months ago. Y'all remember I covered that. Then she made another video essentially saying to guys like me, y'all saying we doing it for the money, you doing it for the money too. In other words, she ain't saying she ain't doing it for the money. Now she's chastising black women who are saying, yeah, I want a corny man, or I might have overlooked a corny man back in the day and I regret it. Or send all the corny men to me, send all the corny black men to me. Let me be very clear. But she said, you know how y'all need to give a chance to? Corny non-black men. In other words, I'm waging a jihad against black men writ large, black men, period. And I'm using you to wage my jihad against them. Something is wrong with this woman. I'm not saying that to be funny. I mean it. Something is psychologically wrong with this one. For her to say that, you know who y'all need to give a chance to? The corny non-black men. Who says that? Even when your own subscribers, your subscribers, Chrissy, your subscribers, right? Your dark-skinned disciples, even when they correct you about L'Oreal's mother saying, oh, no, she a dark-skinned black woman, you get mad at them for that. You say they're missing the point. And what's the point? We supposed to hate these black men forever? And Big Kev says they want black men to apologize for being men. And thank you for the super chat, Big Kev. Brother, I would change that and say no. They want black men to apologize for not making them rich and upper middle class white women. They want black men to apologize for not being the ones to go around the world graping, conquering, colonizing, destroying to put them in where they think and feel white women are. Once again, it's really just the top 20%, not even really the top 1%. They're mad that their likeness isn't the beauty standard. Literally, that's Chrissie's whole project. And then what Chrissy pretty much has decided is if black women's likeness is not the beauty standard, then scorch earth. We'll just end up with the colonizers then. And Chrissy doesn't care that they'll produce the same light-skinned mixed black women that are the bane of their existence. Because the way she thinks is that they'll just turn them into Meghan Markles. That's all. I'll just produce this mixed light-skinned black daughter and raise her to stay the hell away from black men. Y'all think I'm joking. This is really how these people think. Right? Keep letting her talk. Let her talk. Let her talk. And she's pretty much saying it now. We just let these people talk. Oh well, that part too. That's definitely true, Big Kev. And Big Kev says they also want black men to apologize for not being white. Well, that part. Definitely that part. Definitely that part. Right? And Demetrius says, exactly, Z. They low-key promote light-skin supremacy. It's fascinating where human mind and emotions can go because of resentment and anger. It's interesting where a person can find themselves because they're angry. what they said, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. This is a scorned woman. Very angry woman. Successful woman off of her YouTube channel, right? Dr. Thunder says not low key Front Street, right? Demetrius, Dr. Thunder said, nah, it ain't low key, it's Front Street, right? Talking about that, I think I seen a picture, and if you don't mind me saying this, Dr. Thunder, I think I seen a picture of Dr. Thunder and his wife. Dr. Thunder's lighter than his wife. Yikes, Dr. Thunder, you and your wife existence, y'all being married kind of flies in the face of what they talking about. They ain't gonna like that, right? Successful black man, musician, with a woman, oh, not dating, married to a woman darker than him. I'll kind of flies in the face of all this talk of successful black men needing to be with a white woman or racially ambiguous black woman or Latina or right. And I'm coming to a close. Why I covered this morning is because the Chrissies of the world are dangerous. You see the black community having a real conversation about what it means to be corny. Whether we do treat men that are somewhere in the STEM field, right, but they're not uber successful yet, or they don't have the money yet. The boys that are artsy, or the boys that are into something, revolving around science, whether we treat them poorly as adolescents or as youth, having a real conversation about what it means to be corny. You know, you see that happening, and then you stick your resentful, lonely self in the middle of that conversation. You stick your resentful, lonely self in the middle of that conversation and tell black women to sit this one out. Let the men defend themselves. Whatever little BS research you did, you didn't even know that this young lady's mother was black, let alone dark-skinned black woman, which means she's the product of women that follow content like you. Or at least this was at a different time, somewhere in the future, she would be the product of women that listen to people like you, dark-skinned black women who had a child with a lighter black man or a white man or something like that, a Latino man. Their daughter comes out fairly, very light skinned, right? Faith Evans level light skin, Mariah Carey level light skin. And then still find themselves on the wrong side of the red carpet. Not because of her profession. I mean, she's interviewing Michael B. Jordan, right? But what does he remember about her? Right? And KW Don, thank you for the super chat. KW Don says Cynthia G is still talking crazy about Kevin Samuels, which shows she has no content. Man, could we not talk about the hair hat hooligan? Right? With the heavy makeup and Bobby's World mom voice sounding ass women. Black women that sounds like Bobby World's mom. I've never heard that before, but I don't know, right? And Spainman says, talking about L'Oreal, isn't she Kiki Palmer's sister? I never heard that before. I wouldn't be surprised, but I never heard that before. I don't know. Spainman says, the Iron Baying, where's AB when you need him? Right? Mm-mm-mm. So and I'll end out with this, right? Because this comment to me really grinds my gears. Because it goes to class, and y'all know how Mr. Z feels about class. When you date outside the race, having a luxury car, being this, being that, that's baseline stuff. Okay, let's pause right there. Now we doing the whole white man's ice is colder, white worship overtly in everybody's face thing. No, Chrissy. Having a luxury car isn't just baseline stuff. That's why most people don't have luxury cars. Definitely not expensive ones, including white folks, Chrissy, right? She says being well to do is baseline stuff outside of the black community, outside of black men. Black non-black men don't brag about this baseline stuff. Have you met white men? Are you But look, I don't know what this lady is smoking or drinking, and for all of her subscribers, y'all letting her say this. Y'all are letting this adult grown woman say whimsical stuff like this. Wait, there's not a white manosphere? Oops. Larger than the black manosphere? I am in a pretty nice part of town right now. You know what I don't see everywhere? Luxury cars. Being well to do is a baseline outside of the black community. So, who are all the people complaining about home prices? It's just black people? Yikes. Who are the people that's complaining about the cost of tuition in college? It's just black people? Oops. White women telling you they're not trying to get married either because of a lack of, wait a minute, money and eligible men. You know they mean white men, right, Miss Chrissy? Huh. Who's complaining about the prices of new cars and used cars? It's just black people? Who's waiting? Because we know black people don't have that much inheritance for their children. Who's waiting for their parents and grandparents to die so they can get their inheritance money? Once again, don't know what you talking about. You see what I'm saying, Gender Warlord? And better, Gender Warlord says, um, they don't talk about their women like black men do, points to BB, right? If y'all don't know who BB is, I ain't gonna say his name. Y'all know, you know. I'm careful. I'll mention black manosphere people, super huge. I mean, I've done mention Rollo Tomasi before, right? So I might as well. Better bachelor, right? These people are just it. Look, Chrissy is a special breed, right? She she pretty much told you in this video, F black men forever. Whatever happened to her in her stint in this space, left a sour taste in her mouth, and she pretty much wrote off black men, right? Trell said, waiting on Big Mama's couch with the plastic on it, right? So this is, once again, this is a woman that either doesn't know what she's talking about, or even worse and more egregious and more sinister and more cynical, she does know what she's talking about. She understands where she's leading her subscribers. She knows their age demographic. She knows how many of them are young, and she doesn't care because she's one, doing it for the money, and two, to get at black men, to get back at black men, at least in her mind, to get back at black men for not putting her in the position she thinks she should have been in. This is an adult woman, everyone. This is an adult. A black woman born and raised in the US, talking this whimsically about money, about race, about status, about how people comport themselves, right? This lady literally came out her mouth on some, well-to-do or corny non-black men don't be going off on their women or some type of stuff she was saying. Lady, maybe because your subscribers are young, they don't know, or they letting that pass. And it could just be, they just getting off on listening to Chrissie go off on black men because there's people that do that, right? And I'll, coming to a close for real, let me end out on this Kareen comment. And shout out to you, Sister Kareen. And Kareen says, do you really believe that Chrissie is I think you meant to say liar, a liar? One of them rich black men tried to date her. She would, because she is all about the money. And we know, but she really is all about the money. She really is all about the money. That's why she made that video pretty much saying, you too. You saying I do it for the money, you too. Man, get your loser ass the hell up out of here. Got this YouTube fame, got some money, and you still ain't happy. Right? And on that note, all right, y'all, let me get out of here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Um, go check out other Black Manosphere content. I think Dr. Thunder's probably gonna start a stream if he hasn't already. Um, go check out other Black Manosphere content and other non-Manosphere content. So y'all don't sound like Chrissie. Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna correct the age I say. Trell, you're right. We're no longer saying 12-year-old, right? We're saying these are 7-year-old throwing temper tantrums, right? These are adult women with the sensibilities of 7-year-olds, right? Right. And Dr. Thunder says going live in a few minutes. Okay. Right. Y'all go check out Dr. Thunder. Right. Detroit says she can't even sell out right. you know, and for Chrissie been dating out of her race for a minute. Where's the ring? It's always interesting to hear these people talk about I date outside my race. It's so much better. And I'm dating outside my race and all these great experiences, and these men treat me like this. Where's the ring? Right? And Gold Professor came in right before I left, but y'all already know what I gotta say. Gold Professor, shout out to you. Gold Professor was the first person to ever suggest that Mr. Z starts his channel, and so I did. It took me a few months, but I did. And so y'all direct all of y'all hate mail to Gold Professor, right? And the Gold Flow says, Z, they still want that pony. Man, well, I'm taking that in two ways, Indigo. Giggity. They still want that pony from when they were a kid, but even when they with the white man, they still want that. You know. Shout out to Genuine. Anyway, on that note, we'll end it out there. Y'all have a great rest of your night. The giggles, right? I said I said night. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And Mr. Z out. Yeah. I'll pause right there. All right, y'all.